What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Asia session stream. I hope you guys are doing great. I am doing absolutely amazing today. We took one trade together on my eval earlier this morning. Ended up being, I took two trades. I took one trade that ended up being a win, one trade that ended up being a loss. I was completely offside on that second trade, but overall today it was not the greatest day, man. It was pretty choppy for me. I took a very risky trade here at around 9:44, trying to go for those longs and the 7 a.m. high. Unfortunately, got squeezed on that one, so I lost today. I would say pretty significant amount of money on my select accounts. So yeah, I would say I definitely did whatever I had to do on those accounts. Of course, you guys know the copium, cope. But for real though, I am very happy with the way that I managed those accounts. Definitely did great on those. So yeah. Hopefully you guys did great though. I hope some of you guys got your money back within the PM session, because this morning was not great. It was not great at all. L voice crack, GG's. Don't clip me, guys. Do not clip me. How'd you guys do today? Can we run a poll? Are people green, red, break even? I ended up losing the select accounts, so wanted to build my buffer on that trade, got squeezed, and the rest was history. Yeah, so back on the evals, back on full partying evals during Asia. So yeah, it is what it is. So I was red, blue. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? So if you had a hard day, just remember, end of August, not the best action, a lot of choppy action, but we do have some good action during the Asia session, so we're good. We're going to talk about what I'm seeing, what I think will most likely happen, because we were on point in a lot of days. Yesterday I actually saw a lot of good confirmations to go long back towards that gap, but at a certain point, once you start seeing price being very aggressive on the opposite side, you need to give up depending on where you are on the fib. And yeah, yesterday basically I was telling you guys that I was bullish and I was leading more longs and shorts to see that previous daily high being taken out. And the only way I could have really been, extremely long is if we start breaching above 710. Okay, this is what I said. And then if we go back to the hourly chart, which is the exact time frame I look at to find my entries for a daily target, we pushed up very aggressively at 6 p.m. Tried to take a trade here, did not pull back deep enough. Then we had a very strong sweep of lunch high, closure back within the range, plus an unfilled gap right below us. I definitely did take the shorts around here, okay, a little bit higher within that range, and ended up taking my profits right there at the 8 p.m. open. Boom. This is where I took out my profits within the gap. So this is the trade that I took with Terrence yesterday. It was a very good trade, but you see, I'm able to find my way in both sides, depending, even if I am bullish or bearish. I was still bullish overall, but I took a short. So this is really where I want to get into. It's like, even if I have a bullish bias, it doesn't really mean that I care about only longs throughout the day. I can easily take a pullback play. Then right here, we saw, let's see how this next candle closed. Why is it doing this? Bruh. Why is it not just fluctuating? Not fluctuating, but why is it just not? Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, so here, boom, bullish candle closing. At that moment, when this candle closes, I will have this high as being my draw pretty easy. We can see we swept the high immediately, came back within the range. At that point, I would still remain bullish. Let's see what happened. Big bullish candle right here. If you don't see the push during the London session from the next bar, it is most likely going to be a buy squeeze. So let's see. We definitely got down very aggressively. We are past 70% of that previous print. This is a very good moment to take a sale back towards the daily low. Let's say for a 1-to-1, something that looks like this. Let's see what ended up happening if you just had that hourly as your framework, and then ended up hitting the target at even 7 a.m. What? Okay. So this is what I saw on the daily. So currently on the daily chart, what do you think my bias is, guys? Do you think it's bullish or bearish? My bias currently on the daily chart is bearish. Okay, wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. And what is this body telling me? It's telling me that the sellers are so aggressive that we're breaking below the previous daily lows, rejecting highs, breaking lows. And at this point, I know here that the likelihood of us reversing currently back towards that daily high is very, very slim. Okay, I would at least need to sweep that previous daily low in order to see some upside. So currently the easy money trade would be the daily low right at the 8 p.m. open. So I would say I would frame that the next daily candle has more chances of closing bearish than bullish. Okay, like this one. Okay, until proven otherwise. The only way for me to be bullish is if I pull on my fib from the high to the low of that print. And if we start, let's say we don't sweep that low and we start trading here above 60, 70, basically 70% of that previous print, I will long back towards that daily high instead of trying to go short. But here currently this body is going to act as a wall. Okay, this is my hypothesis on the market. The bodies of those candles will act as a wall, and a lot of aggressive participants will step back in to defend their positions from the previous day. So new value areas have been established. So for me, first easy target from the open of the Asia session would be the daily low. Then we need to see how we're going to close. Are we going to close below that previous daily low, or are we going to close back within the range, pointing towards 50% of that print of that previous daily candle? Then, you know, my bias would be different. But let's say if we break below this low aggressively on the hourly, I would project that the next candle will go bearish. If we sweep the low and then close back within the range, I will project that we have a lot of chances of seeing a bullish candle to the upside. This is my thought process currently. We are on Thursday, so if we take a look at this weekly candle, this weekly candle is going to close bearish. Okay, no doubt about this. There is absolutely zero way we come back all the way to the weekly open in on a Friday. So usually what happens within Friday's range is that, let's say here we opened on Monday, formed the high of the week, flipped below the opening price, and we are just accepting lower and lower prices even within the gap. So here currently we are displacing. We have a weekly bar that is above 1,100 handles. At this point, am I going to expect that Friday is actually going to flush very aggressively and then close right here? No, I'm expecting that Friday will create some sort of pullback, so we form the bottom wick of that weekly bar. So then let's say here during the Asia session we go down aggressively, then I would say during the New York session I would still expect us to go back towards let's say 20-25% of that previous candle's range, somewhere here. So let's say we go down all the way to this part, okay, this portion, let's say the 90s, then I would expect us to create some sort of pullbacks on Friday, okay, from the hourly chart. That's what I'm thinking, overall thought process. But am I going to act on it? Really depending on what I see. What's up, TJ? I'm going to start calling you TJ. Not TG, TJ. You know why? Us as French, we always have a hard time saying G or J. Because us, it's the opposite. Because you guys say G for that letter, but we say G. And then if it's a G, then we say J. French people will understand. It's kind of confusing though. Can I get a vouch from a French baguette in the chat right now? Please. I need someone to to defend my position, my take on the G and J. What's up, Nick? How you doing, my brother? How we doing this week? Are we buying low, selling high? What happened? You call me whatever you want, sexy boy. Appreciate you, my brother. Yeah, but French people have a hard time with G and J. So don't get mad if I call you TG, TJ. Always, my brother. Always buying low, selling high. Let's go. What's up? What's up? All right, so currently within that first hourly print, I would want us to close below 43. Okay, you see how that hourly is printing currently? If we close below 43 here very aggressively, there will be only 40 points. We will be 40 points away from hitting that daily, that previous daily low. So I will use this as a catalyst to basically drive us back down the Globex, to drive us back down towards the most recent low, the daily low. If we get a very choppy hourly bar, so let's say like we come back within the range and we close here, then I will wait for 8 p.m. So you guys know, like, I could definitely trade around 645, 650-ish. I can trade that easily, but we need to have a very good candle, which we did not get within the last 2 weeks. We got 2 very good candles this week, yesterday and the day before. It was great. What's your views? What's your view in gold? Wait, gold. Was it not just ripping to oblivion? Let me see. Wow. My views on gold currently on the daily, with how big that bottom wick is, I would have a bullish bias. Usually, even if that candle ends up creating a gap, the distance between the close and the gap is something that is very important to me. I would never short an unfilled gap right here if we have such a strong close and we're very close to the high. I would expect us to need that high in order to then go down to fill the gap. So then I would say like the initial target would be that high for me. And at this current point, would I long blindly? No. If we get price to open up lower than flip, then probably I will use this low as being the protected low to see that high. But if we break very aggressively and then we get past 50% of that wick, then we'll be way closer to that gap than the high. And depending on the amount of aggression that we saw from buyers, and if they got really squeezed here, I will be aggressive back to the unfilled. So here I would say it's a pretty it's pretty 50-50 since you have a gap below, but I would be predicting more chances of seeing some upside than some downside with that candle closure and the distance from the gap. That's how I read it. And also, like, you see, we're respecting structure on that daily chart. Like, we're breaking very strongly within the trend, creating shifts in market structure, creating daily order blocks. If I want to trade back deeper towards an order block, I need to close through it. If I wick like this, I'm expecting the next daily candle to close bullish. Purely from I would say candlestick theory right there. What do you guys think? What do you think about gold? Let me know, DG. What do you think about gold? $275 people watching and only 35 likes. I agree. Good thing that you just said deep charts. Can we get the likes up, my brothers? We're gonna run hella giveaways today. It's the last day for the Asia session. So make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel also. Terrible day today, but you know, At least we have the Asia stream to bring the vibes up. All right. So yeah, let me put the cam here so you guys see me in the good angles. I need a mod. Do I mod chat? If I don't mod, just tell me. I'll switch the. I'll change the camera placement. Thanks, Moss, for the great analysis. Appreciate you, EP. Bearish now? You're bearish on NQ or gold? Because I'm bearish on NQ and I'm more bullish on gold currently. Mog maxing, hell yeah. That's what they call me. It's my name. They recognize me by the Mog maxer on them streets. How do you make your coffee, Amos? What's in it? It is an espresso. How do we call those, guys? Capsules? How do we call those in English? Like the little things that you put in. You call those capsules? Let me know, guys. Educate me. I'm trying to English max right there. Pods, yeah, I guess. Yeah, pods. Same thing. We call them capsule in French. That's why I just said the French name and just prayed that it would work. That's always what I do. I swear to God. If I don't know the thing in English, I just say the French thing, the French word, and I pray it goes through. Sometimes, like most of the time, it goes through actually. But today, yeah, the pods. So it is an espresso pod with what is it? It's what's the flavor? Hazelnut. That's how you call it. Hazelnut, noisette. So hazelnut. Yeah. So hazelnut. It's good. I bought vanilla. I bought caramel. And I bought hazelnut. My favorite currently is hazelnut. Yeah. Where are you from? Quebecois? Of course, bro. You know, do you see me? Do you see me struggling with some words? Like my English pretty good, but you know, if you put me in some situations where I need to, you know, I need to explain a word with a difficult meaning, it will be hard. It will be hard. But I would say I don't have that French accent when I speak English. I probably have more of the like European accent. Especially not like French from Canada at all. Do you mog the Tradeify team because you're a Moss, or are you Moss because you mog the Tradeify team? What the hell was that question? Bro, Tradeify has probably the most stacked moggers in the group. I don't everyone in the team is mogging literally, especially now that they just added TJ. Even Rebecca was like, I DM'd her like 3 days, not 3 days ago, like 2 weeks ago when she came in on stream. I was like, yo, what do you use on your, what do you use on your face? Like, you gotta stop gatekeeping. I was like, you're glowing. She was like, oh my god, thank you. I had to make a Mager list. I'm not even top 3, I swear to god. Number 1. Mager list. TG's number 1, I won't lie. TG. Then Brett, my brother. And who do you guys have as the third? Spud. Yep. Yep. Say something in Algerian, like try to explain your trading strategy. I'm not that good though, that's the thing. I couldn't give you like the words to explain strategies in another language other than even, you know, even when I speak French and I try to like make people understand my strategy, I still speak like half English in that explanation. Like I am not even close to being fluent with those trading terms. It's like you see like the word candles. Even a French person will never say the real French word for a candle. He will just say a candle. He will not say une bougie. No one says that. That's weird. If you say that, you're weird. You know? Yeah, that's just weird. Everyone just refers to the, I would say like the international language that most traders use. I haven't seen him take a trade in a live stream yet. Then you're then you probably just enter for 15 minutes and leave because I'm probably the one that is taking the most amount of trades ever. I'm in a trade on every stream. I got stopped out to break even 5 times last week. No, 4 times last week, once this week, and then took a dub yesterday. But I'm trying to keep my record very clean here. Like I'm sweating with my life for the trades. So currently 20, what is it? 22-6, guys. 22-6. Yeah, let's start the like goals right now. Actually, let's do 250 likes for the first like goal, and then we'll go up from there. Do you guys prefer when the light in the back is blue, or the previous one, which was I think it was like yellow or like white? It's a different vibe. It's a different vibe, low key. Wait. I don't know if it's too bright. All right. Yeah, you're right. Brent said I should change it depending on the day. If I am on a green day, I should put a green, and if I'm red, red. If I'm BE, then I choose. If I'm sad, blue, yeah. I'm never sad though. That's the thing. Even if I lose my accounts, I cannot be sad. It's impossible. You gotta bring the vibes up. Yeah, being bilingual is not an easy task sometimes. I would say for the most part, I got used to it. But I think Miriam asked me that last time. She was like, "What? Like when you're thinking, do you think in French still, even if you speak English? I'm like, yeah. So let's see here. Strong open to the downside, 71 point. This is not bad for in terms of the amount of points. If we keep going on that hourly, I would say like I'm gonna lean short. I'm gonna be short biased towards 201. So I want to sell back towards 200. Oh, sorry. Which indicator are you using for the 15 and hourly candles? It's called ICT HTF candles by Fadi. So these are the, so I use 6 and those displays the last 6 15-minute bars and last 6 hourly bars within the range. So I keep my chart very clean and I don't need to have like 5 charts opened, you know, so I can focus on explaining sometimes. You got to include whether your outlook is bullish or bearish too. I did, yeah. Every time at around 6, I explain the logic behind why I am anticipating a bullish move or a bearish move on the next day, on the week also. But if you want me to go over it again, since price is not moving too much, currently, if I take a look at this weekly chart, overall on this weekly, we are going to close bearish, okay? But we are we're distributing very aggressively. And usually when we have a distribution that is pushing all the way to Thursday and even basically Friday is creating the low of the week, then what we're going to see is that we're most likely going to form the bottom wick of that weekly bar. And that bottom wick is usually closing between 20 to 30% of that candle's range. So then what am I expecting from Friday? I would expect us that if we are if we are forming low of day during the New York session, then at a certain point it will be a very good moment to look for a long to basically anticipate that bottom wick formation, okay, that 30% pullback. And this can happen on Fridays, usually when we form the low of day, basically the low of the week, okay. If I can summarize that in that way, then I scale down to the daily chart. For me, the way that I find my bias on the daily is pretty simple. Wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. And here, what are we forming? Are we breaking highs, rejecting lows? What are we doing? So here we are rejecting highs, breaking lows, forming bearish structure. So bearish market structure shifts. We're creating inverse on the daily chart. And here, most importantly, we are establishing new value areas below the previous daily low. If we're closing below the previous daily low, for me, there's a pretty big likelihood of us not reversing until actually we sweep that previous daily low and we start seeing above 70% of the previous range being disrespected. So currently I am bearish and I'm projecting that the likelihood of the next candle to close bearish is higher, but we're probably going to see something like this in my opinion. We're going to go down, okay, around like the 50s, 60s, and then we're going to wick back in, okay. So something that looks like this. I would expect a down move to fill a bigger portion within this gap. This is what I'm expecting. And within this Asia session, this is the move that I will try to catch, the move back towards that daily low. So if we scale down to the 1 hour, which is the aligned time frame with my daily chart, then I would wait for a break. I would want to see if we can break below 42, create that bearish order block on the 1 hour, and then potentially sell back down towards this daily low. So this is my outlook overall. On the weekly, we are capping the week tomorrow, so I would expect some sort of retracements to be formed on Friday. During the overnight session, I expect us to dump back down towards the daily low before actually reversing. And for me to be completely bullish without seeing the previous daily low being swept, I would need to trade back towards 70% of the previous print, which is exactly aligning with the previous candle's opening price. So around here, if we push up very aggressively here and we open here on Friday, I will go for the daily high. So that's pretty much my outlook. But right now, we do have my brother, Afiz, waiting. Let's bring him in. What's up, Afiz? How are you doing, brother?
Good, man. How's it going?
Doing great, doing great. My day, what a good question.
Oh, here's a story.
I think everyone's day was horrible today, you know.
Yeah, today's price action chop fast as usual for New York Open.
Yeah, that was today was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw on my Twitter earlier, I posted a screenshot and I got break even for the 15th time this month.
I saw.
I broke my own goddamn rule, dude. What I'm supposed to do is never screenshot, and what I decided to do was screenshot. And yeah, I got taken out of the market by like 5 points before it just dumped TP all day.
Damn. That's crazy. Do you actually believe in that screenshot, Chris?
I didn't used to. See, I always take the screenshot, and like today I even put it on my Instagram story because I'm like, surely this has got to be like, everyone says in my Discord it's like a faux pas, like don't do it, like stop doing it. And I'm like, there's no way this is a thing, and like you guys are just like, we're all just in our own heads about it, and you can't make it up. It's like I take a screenshot, man, and that's the bottom of the market if I'm shorting before we retrace like 40-50%. I don't know. Maybe it's superstitious, but for the rest of the year, ain't no screenshots coming.
Screen shockers. Sometimes it happens to me when I try to record my trade. I have that same kind of curse. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna record this trade right here. I'm gonna enter pretty heavily. Boom! I enter the trade. As soon as I enter, down 2 bands.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. There's something about it that doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. At this point in time, maybe it's superstitious, but call me superstitious. I'm just not posting any more screenshots.
Yeah, damn. All right. So today you got stopped at break even. That's right.
Yep. I wanted YM to that monthly open like we talked about on Tuesday. Actually, it was freaking beautiful, and yeah, just unfortunate, man. Unfortunate kind of day. It ended up like creating a new high. I can share my screen and show you. Let me move my laptop here. Just eating lunch right before this. You don't mind that. But you see my screen. Yeah, so I wanted this monthly open, right? So this is that new week opening gap where the monthly candles open, flat body. I wanted to take Dow here. Essentially, you can see I took 2 trades today, actually. So I'll show you the first one. It was on Dow. It was like, I ended up taking this. We came into this gap here at the open. You can see, here's my key level. I won't go into a full like recap just because I'll be kind of in depth, but when we came into this gap here, I was using a 30-minute SMT fill, like I talked about last time, like this. Boom, right? Very nice. This asset is, again, like we talked about, it's forming that divergence, right, in EQ of the range, okay? So like while this asset NASDAQ comes in, tags this higher gap, it looks like this, we have YM forming this very like spaced out divergence in EQ. Then all I need to do is see a V-shaped lower. Looks pretty clean, right? It looks like this. So we get that V-shaped lower. Boom. Me, that's all I need to see to go short. Hit the retest. Position tool. I took the retest here, put my stop at the high, obviously, and I was targeting the low. And this came in, it stopped me out here actually. So I lost about 1 hour here, which is fine because this is a good trade. It's a good loss, and I take this again. What you can see actually ended up forming. This is the part I was really mad about. That loss is a good loss for my system. What I'm really more upset with is this break even. So as you can see, this is fine. Like in here, we end up V-shaping away on all assets. But then this is the red flag, right? You have the external range low. And immediately when you start to consolidate away from a reversal, specifically because this asset in here makes a deep retracement, what we're printing is a higher time frame gap. So we have this 1 hour gap in here, okay? And we're not getting expansion away from the 1 hour gap. So in this case, I know that the next higher time frame opening we're gonna get is a new 90-minute candle. right? So 10 a.m. is opening low. And you can see this is what ends up forming. Let me show you. We end up coming in. We have this 90-minute gap, right? That's what we end up reversing off of. So because we don't get expansion away from the 1 hour, as you can see here, my mind immediately goes when I get stopped out. Okay, that is okay. It's still valid. Nothing has changed about my drawn liquidity, which is all the way down here. But we're just participating in a higher time frame gap. So this is what happens at 10:30 in that 10:30 candle. And we can talk about a little bit about why this happens. It's actually when you see expansion, typically you get some sort of consolidation that looks like this before you go lower. It's like seek and destroy is what we call, because we have this large overnight move. But both ways, we're fine with that. Look at what I do, man. This is the kicker. So we get it. And this is really good, right? So it looks like this. Here's that first SMT that I took. I lost, whatever. It's all good. -1R. Then we get this strength switch. So this asset, which was once weaker, creates a higher high in the 90-minute gap. And look at NASDAQ, man. Beautifully staying in respect of that high it made in the morning, right? Look at this really large wick at 9 a.m. That's great. It's exactly what you want to see. So myself, right, I'm like, this is perfect. Let me short NASDAQ because, it's going to be multiple R's. I can get back down to the lows and I can still take, a good trade and be green on the day. So all I do is I wait for a V shape again. Same thing. Oh, man. Sucks. Idiots. Yeah. I'm like, cool. All right, we get down to here. We take out this low. Do you want to know where I went break even? I'll show you. Hilarious. So this is where I took my screenshot. If you look at my Instagram story, I took my screenshot, bro, here. I'm like feeling so good about myself. Like, oh, it couldn't be easier, right? Like, I'm actually holding not for this low, but I'm going to TP when YM takes out this low. So I'm planning on holding NASDAQ. I believe I had I don't know, go my screenshot and I'll show you, but I had my TP set here, I think. No, it wasn't there. It was here. There we go. It was 168. So maybe it was like down here around like 2.5 R, but I was really just watching YM because I'm like, this is the asset I really can see going down to this low today. I just get a much better entry technique here in NASDAQ, right? Nice screenshot here. I'm feeling so good about myself. And then just because it's like, it's so close to the low, man, right? And it's like, okay, look at this asset, takes out the low as well. Right, let me just, or comes close, let me just go break even, right? Like, I'm already down 1 R on the day. Let me protect my position. Look at the low. I take the screenshot here, I go break even. And here we go. It takes me out. And for the rest of the day, not only does YM dump, it's not enough that YM dumped. It's not enough that YM dumped, right? And NASDAQ went all the way down kind of to like this area here. But you can see the trade I was in originally was the best trade of the day. So I got stopped out on the best trade of the day. Randomly went break even here before it melted all the way to the lows. And I hopped off and I called my name. Because I was
Damn. That's crazy. It's all good. I think most people got wrecked anyways today. So
it was a super tough day. We had that huge expansion, man. When price moves like this overnight, especially into this daily low, and what are we supposed to do on New York Open? We get stuck with these. I remember we talked about this again too. We get stuck with these types of ranges every single time we get these exaggerated overnight moves.
Yeah.
We just go to our chart. I'm pretty sure it's like every single if you look at New York session versus Asia, it's like the tail of New York. All like, look at this.
At least we had a good Asia session yesterday though. We took a banger though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yesterday was clean. Yesterday was super clean overnight too. Yeah. If you were up for that new 4-hour opening here, right? You can see that model that we talked about highs and lows of days being made from gaps, man. It's like so nice, right? So we're in continuation again. Like on this day, right? And we're like, okay. Look at the SMT we already have and that PSP, really nice. There's your 2-stage cracking correlation in a daily gap, in a weekly bearish expansion candle. That's like A+. The next day, what do we look for? Some sort of continuation out of a gap. You can see in here, we don't have any 4-hour gaps or anything, but look at this 6 a.m. candle. It expands away from the open, right, with that SMT. Now we're in continuation. Look at these hourly gaps and these SMT fills. hourly gap. Let's see if there's any sequence in here. I know it's ES puts in these equal highs here, unfortunately. That would be really clean. Let's look inside of this hourly gap and see if there's anything that forms. Because this would have been essentially the high of the New York session. Honestly, no, because we put in equal highs. But man, if ES took out that high like that, that'd be mint. Imagine taking a short that looks like this for the whole day. You would take it on YM. Your stop loss at that high, and you would get just a beautiful. You would be targeting, seriously, like you targeting that low for the day. Like if you're day trading this range, there's nowhere else for price to really go. Like you don't have to take a partial anywhere else. It's not.
I think yesterday's overnight session was pretty easy to read in my opinion. Like we could see the gap being taken out on the daily chart, but I would need us to be very strong during the opening of Asia in order for us to see it, which we were not necessarily able to close strongly above. I wanted to see the closure above 710. See here, that level 710. Once we would have closed above this, I would have been an easy long for me back towards that gap. Of course, basically having the perspective of the closer you get to a high, the more chances you have of sweeping it. That's always how I read it. If you form a daily gap above you, and then let's say this is the high, and you're here, if you break past it, let's say break past 70% of the previous range, for me, even if there is a pullback here, it will most likely hold to see that gap since it's a magnet. So for me, it was I would say I was bullish at first. I ended up taking the shorts back down towards the unfilled gap on the hourly, which is how I made my money yesterday with Terrence. But then after that, as soon as you see that break here, we cannot get past that previous high at 8 p.m. It's a pretty easy short here at 7 a.m. I would say.
In that area.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say
lower as well. I agree with you. Like for me, it's just a bearish weekly candle, right? The size of this weekly wick tells you pretty much the whole story. YM should take out this low. There really is nothing else for us to look at when we look at this market triad. There's nothing else that should capture our eye more than this specific level. We should all have an alert here. Until this low is taken, you can never trade counter on these assets. Once this low is taken, then what we can look for is maybe trading back into the range like you talked about, right, with a daily candle. But if there's any way to get down here in Asia, that's what I'll be looking for. And it's the same, actually.
I'm looking for a short, actually.
It could be right here, man. Like, look, the framework's forming for Asia, right? We have a 4-hour gap. Look, this is the only key level, actually, in yesterday's range. If you look at yesterday's range, there's nothing else for YM to go lower from. So if you can see, we already formed this SMT fill like this with NASDAQ. And it's, again, it's a two-stage, right? This is a down close candle. This is an up close candle. This one forms the gap low. All we need to do now is see reversal signature. Honestly, that's really ugly. So what, I mean, technically this is valid actually, just like this. This could be the high, but there's no expansion away from here. And there's not really a, I mean, this is Dow in Asia, so it looks like this. But if we see something like this, yeah, I'll short that with you like on stream today, and I'll target the slow down here.
Definitely shorting today. I could be longing, but I would need to see. I would still need to see the daily low being taken out. Really like the overall framework. Always targeting the daily high or low during the Asia has been probably the best strategy of them all. Especially right at the open. Usually, like we'll see 8 p.m. being the catalyst to drive us back down towards the daily high or low, depending on the strength of the previous day. That's usually how I call it, like the Asia rate. That's how I called it.
Yeah. And we're so close to the previous day low right now. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Afiz, what are you doing this weekend? Do you have any plans?
I haven't planned anything at the moment special. No, honestly, I've been gassed this week, honestly. So probably just rest.
Any third dates?
Potentially. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Nothing on the books at the moment. So no.
Okay, still cooking.
Yeah, I have a friend coming to visit me on the 25th from Toronto, like out east. So
Hmm.
I'm probably gonna try and like rest and get as much work as I can get done this week. So then next week when they come, I can just like chill a bit.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, you?
Truly nothing planned. Usually, like, I don't plan anything really. It's pretty much like I live day by day. Yeah.
Wherever the weekend takes you.
Yeah, exactly. If
Huh.
someone is like, "Yo, let's do this," I'm like, "Yeah." Like when I saw the meme, it's not a meme, but it was like a video on Instagram. It was like when my friend texts me, "Yo, what are you doing tonight? Or what are you doing on Saturday?" And your response is exactly what you were gonna tell me you were gonna do. Like,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
actually solid, bro. Yeah,
yeah,
letting the weekend take you. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're probably gonna be chill too. So
I'm moving out of my place here at the end of the month, so it's like my last couple weekends in the city before I move. So I'll definitely go 1 or 2 more times in Vancouver here.
you live you said right now you're with your parents, but do you?
No, I have my own place. I have my I
Oh,
like
you have your own place again.
I got a sublease for like the summer, in the
Okay.
city here. I just got a furnished place. I don't have any furniture or anything in the city, but it expires or it's ending in September, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of doing a trip. I was thinking potentially maybe going to Greece or Costa Rica or something just for a month because it kind of gets rainy here in like September, October. Like it gets like gray and really dreary. So I try and leave like British Columbia during the fall.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
go chase some winter sun, in this case fall sun, because it gets like it turns into like eight to eight to 10 hours of gray, dark, like
yeah.
rain every day, and then the other hours that aren't rainy and dark are just like cold.
True. Yeah. Who's from Canada here? Who in the chat here is from Canada and can vouch the statement right here. Half of the year is great.
After year is great. The summers are amazing. I think
Summers are great.
across Canada, man, like Canada has some of the best cities in the world in the summer. I think that Toronto, undoubtedly a top 3 city in the world in the summer. Like it's right up there with like I don't know, like New York, Shanghai, London. I love Toronto in the summer, but in the winter it's
Yeah,
terrible. Oh my goodness,
terrible.
I lived in Toronto for like 3 years, dude. I don't know how people go. I mean, you're in Montreal. You're the same way. I don't know how you go outside, man. It's like minus 30,
Impossible.
-5.
You
It's
can't. You
yeah,
can't. You literally can't.
unbearable, man. It's like, how do
Yeah.
people? Why would they pick us? I'm always like, why would they pick this city in the middle of a tundra? Why would they pick this area in the middle of a tundra and just put it the biggest city in Canada? What
Yeah.
was the reason? Like, they just picked this barren wasteland for like 6 months of the year. It's like -30, and they're like, let's build a city here.
Do you have any plans of traveling next year?
Yeah, so I want to do, like I said, maybe like Greece or Costa Rica in September.
Okay,
Um,
Greece. Okay.
I love Costa Rica. I usually go there like once a year, or like Cape Town. There's like those places are
Oh,
just
okay.
like
Okay.
yeah, they're just awesome. Like
Is it
especially
not dangerous?
Cape Town is very much like the Beverly Hills of Africa, of South Africa at least.
Hmm.
Cape Town's extremely bougie. Mostly if you go to Cape Town, it's actually funny. Like you'll go there and you'll be like, "This is." I mean, I have family who grew up in Africa. I've been to most parts of Africa, east, north, and south, and Cape Town has no resemblance to the rest of Africa. So it's like yeah, it gives like beach club vibes, especially if you stay in like the areas like Camps Bay, are like all. That's where they filmed Iron Man. Actually, you know that glass house in Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's in Camps Bay in Cape Town. So it's all like really nice, like villas and Airbnbs and a whole bunch of like people who try and escape winters go to Cape Town. So it's mostly just like European and other tourists. But there's a lot of like Afrikaans people as well, like essentially white African people who are very very wealthy who live in Cape Town. But yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
other parts of South Africa are quite dangerous. So like I've been to like Joburg, for example, and I wouldn't recommend like if you're like new to the continent, you just like raw dog like Joburg.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
wouldn't
never thought about it.
like, Durban, like you wouldn't just like go to Durban or Joburg and be like, this is like Cape Town. It's like, not even terrible.
I don't know. I feel like okay, so what was your favorite place ever that you went to?
Japan for sure.
Japan. Here we had, you know, the producers from Japan, no?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he lives in Japan.
Japan is beautiful. I was only there for about 2.5, 3 weeks. I only spent my time in Tokyo. I was just with my brother and his girlfriend. But yeah, I want another trip where I can actually go see more of the country. Like, I want to see us. Yeah, I know. Whereabouts are you? Because I might ask for some recommendations. I want to go to Osaka next. I also want to go to Kyoto and actually see some of like see a bit more of the country and get around a bit more. But I just got stuck in Tokyo, as you can, because 2 weeks in Tokyo seems like a long time, and 2 weeks might not even be enough for one part of the city. Be dope. Fees, what's your name, bro? My name's Afiz. That crazy.
That's how you write. That's how we write your name.
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah.
4-letter name.
I get that question a lot, actually. My name.
Yeah, that's crazy. I really thought it was a gamer tag, actually.
Most people do.
Yeah. Jeez, that's a sick name.
Maybe on like the Slack or whatever after as well. Like, yeah. That's perfect. Dude. That's awesome. Yo, Amos, we should do a Japan trip, bro.
Bro. a
million subs on Tradeify TV. We're currently at 150K. I think Brett's gonna fly us all to Tokyo. No promises. We just said that right now, but
that could be sick.
I think he'd agree. I honestly think he'd agree. That'd be sick. Yo, I'm a gold also. Okay, perfect. So gold's also setting up here decently, actually, for the Asia session as well. Same kind of setup we looked for on indices. We have obviously this intra-week high now, right? So Friday can cap the weekly range. When we see a candle close like this, right? Strong bullish close here on silver, right? Above, the previous day's high. We now just have this Thursday candle as a range for Friday, and we're opening up in very close proximity to the high. So what we want to look for is something inside this range to get us there. That's where we only have one level. So a day like today is so unambiguous because you have one level. It's one fair value gap. Any sort of SMT sequence inside of this gap, and our eye is going to go right to that high. So this is, again, a time where I would just like set an alert here, set an alert like this. That, just set alerts on the gap. And what you can also do when you're trading gold, let's move that up. We're also doing when trading gold is a bit interesting. You can use some Forex pairs as well, because you notice we always talk about triads, like gold, silver, and what else? This is where you'll see me use like Dow Euro, which is just like a Forex pair for a swing point as well. Like, so I'll also set an alert here. And I'll also use GBP. Okay. I never trade these assets. As you notice, I'll never trade the Forex pairs. Not my MO, but I will set alerts there as well as on the silver Forex pairs. Sometimes because we get these divergences with these instead. But there you go. Now, essentially, all the alerts. Now, if this does hit me while I'm awake, I'll immediately come in, look for some sort of swing point in here. And this is very one-sided, right? Like, I don't know. Did you see the gold long today, Amos? It was pretty
yeah, nice. I saw it from the bottom of the range.
I mean, if you look at this framework, it's like clean, right? Like it's just a really large wick, so you want to target the open, but look at the low of day. It's made inside this 4-hour gap with that, as you know, our favorite thing in the world. It's that two-stage PSV, right? We have the gap fill. Then in addition to the gap fill, we have that candle closing as a PSP. Then look at 10 a.m.'s open. It just so one-sided. You're going to see in here, there's that really strong V shape into 10 a.m.'s open that looks like this. Okay, so once we get that 4-hour two-stage PSP, 10 a.m. opens right here. And it opens, I think, into a gap as well. Yeah, it couldn't be cleaner, by the way. Holy shit. Look, 10 a.m. opens into a gap, and you see the exact same thing you saw in the 4-hour, now on this lower time frame fractal. Look at that. It's like literally textbook. I didn't like it because of the wick size, how large this daily wick was, but man, boom, right there. Look, this asset is the one that made the higher low, right? It diverges here, the gap. Then look what it does here. It makes the lower high, right? And boom. You get that strength switch in the gap. All you need is a V shape in there. Wait for that V shape. Along it right there. And in this case, is there anything looking left? Oh no, there is nothing looking left. We want to take gold here. Let's take gold. We'll take gold to the same high. Wherever that was. It'll be right here. It's a little chop. Some people I know this. And you just take it all the way to the same high. Beautiful trade.
Please, I have a question. How are you still trading with the white chart?
A wide chart?
Yeah.
What chart do you trade with?
A dark chart.
Oh, light charts. The white chart. Oh, I don't know. I can't do the other colors, man. Like I see people using.
You prefer white.
Oh yeah, white for sure. Yeah, for me it's always white, and also like my candlesticks are always white and black, bro. I can't do any other colors.
Damn, I feel like I get flashbanged by your chart.
Do you? Oh, it's so bright. Let me see. I might have a darker color. Maybe I just.
Nah, don't change it. Don't change it.
Look, I have my ICT one. See my ICT one in here. No, the green and black.
Yo, that one makes me, bro. That ICT one, bro, is like, I'm over with that one. The gray and green.
Yeah,
I prefer yours though. Yours is pretty clean, but it's like pretty light.
It's just white, yeah. Some people have some cool, man. Some people have some cool chart colors, bro. I spent a lot of time. I think I saw this guy like a couple years ago, and I had this for a while, and then I realized I had this little like blue and black one. I was like trying to do all this shit, and I was like, okay, back it up. And I just went back to the black.
But I remember when I first started, let's say I would blow an account, I would be like, yo, I'm changing my chart colors. The previous chart colors just, you know.
That's funny. Special motivation sometimes, bro. If I'm on a real rough trading streak, I'm like, all right, let me just go in here. Let me just change the opacity a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's like a new chart. Like now this small subtle change, or like I'll go to my black candles and I'll be like, you know what? These candles need to be darker. And I'll literally just do shit like this. It's so funny. I'll like
100%. Because I would be like, you know what? I'm a new man. I'm changed right now. I'm never gonna disrespect my rules, and I disrespected my rules with the old chart, so now I need to change it. You know,
take it out back and shoot it in the head. Yeah, I'm excited for this week to be over, man. I'm honestly excited for the summer volatility like regime to end. I very much.
You're not the only one telling this, and I was with Joey this morning, and he was pretty he looked like he was pretty tired of this price action. I would say like if you are trading from like 9:30 to like 11:30 usually, man, the action there is either not pulling back or extremely choppy, you know. So
it's New York session, like absolutely disgusting. These overnight I've been thinking if I just lived somewhere else, I would capitalize so extensively on the days which expand, because they never happen in New York anymore, at least in indices. Yeah. Always in the overnight sessions. And I come here and I make a joke to like my Discord before I go to bed. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm streaming at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll see what like dog shit we're left with by 9 a.m. Like jokingly, and then I wake up, yeah, I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. I'm like, I just see like 600 points lower in the range. I'm like, oh, here we go.
I feel like those kind of conditions, they show you how important it is to like know how to scalp in some conditions, especially if you trade props. You know, let's say like you have a certain model, but then you either have no opportunities, or you see how big the range is as soon as you open up the chart, and you know you should not be trading like a bigger picture play. It's like knowing how to scalp and be versatile is so good in those kind of conditions, especially like to keep the frequency with your funded accounts and not, you know, dying down. So I would say like in terms of like quarters, Q1, Q2, Q4, you know, they're great for bigger picture plays. But I would say the only months where you really need to focus on learning how to scalp and potentially like deviating from that bigger picture mentality, I would say, is definitely the summer months. And it's like if your job is prop firm trading, I would say, and if you're like most of your strategies are prop firm based, I would say it will serve you very well within those months to adapt and potentially even trade PM session occasionally if the morning session is too bad, you know.
100%. Learning how to trade smaller ranges is really important.
Yeah,
You're gonna end up round tripping a lot, like I have.
I feel like though there's some days where you know there's going to be an expansion, and you know you can capitalize on a bigger picture play, but there's some days where you know for a fact that it is lower probability to aim even for a 2R or 3R play. That's my opinion. I think like maybe 4-5 times within a month you will see like such a good opportunity that you can let runners run, but most days those easy money trades will make up for like will make your months in general. Like it will make your cash flow, I would say. So that's really what I'm trying to do, like more is being able to capitalize on those days where I know there's going to be an expansion and not necessarily trade my one-to-one, letting runners run on those days where everything is aligning together, and throughout the rest the last 16 trading days of the month, then I would say just trading my base hits. So that's really where I'm trying to go with my trading going into this 2027.
Absolutely, brother. I couldn't agree more. Actually, it really does separate. Also, maybe there's just certain types of trading styles that you just need to like trade certain, like you said, trade certain market volatility regimes, and other times you can just enjoy vacations. Like I'd be better off, I think, for the most part, like swing trading right now, which I'm doing. Like I'm in a swing trade short, for example, on the Nasdaq, just going to TP when YM hits this low, which is great. It's like so stress free. We talked about it like last Thursday. We're like, oh yeah, like if we disrespect this gap here on the daily, we're just going to let YM take out the monthly open. Taking a swing trade here is like frictionless because you know that, you know, this is going to deliver. I don't have to worry about when it's going to deliver. I can just worry about if it's going to deliver over the next month because I'm trading monthly options. Intraday, it's like a completely different war, man. It's like Nasdaqistan. It's like you go in there and you got to trade with a different mindset with different objectives, right?
Yeah.
You got to do a bit of both. Like swing trading is always what hedges me during these types of conditions, like very choppy.
What is the thing that you're working on right now as a like what's like your weakness, you would say, as a trader currently that you're trying to perfect within the next year?
Really great question. It's probably just size, man. I tend to just undersize my trades. I think it's also a function of just prop. Like I'm very content objectively with like 50K plus of payouts a month. And I know it sounds like, oh, well, you sound like a douchebag. Like, of course you're content with that. But the truth is, like, you get to a point where if you're scaled with multiple props, 50K to 100K in payouts a month, especially when you're, you know, well diversified 50, 60 funded accounts on like 5-6 different props is doable. But it disincentivizes you from trading with size with with any of those accounts. And for me, I find that really impacts my live account trading because I undersize the hell out of my trades on my live account. I'm not used to seeing the variance of large P&L spikes because I principally trade with prop. It's a real issue because, for example, on prop, I have no problem throwing together 50K accounts, like various, funded accounts and firms, and taking, $200, $300 risk, aiming for 2 to 3 hours. So it's to make $600 to $700. I know that if I do that consistently over a month, I can get a max payout or 2 per account per firm. That's fantastic. The problem is when I live trade, like I scale that into my live account, which I also do, I'm sitting there being like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to risk, 2, 3K on this position. That's a number I'm not used to seeing. And that will be something I have to overcome as a trader, because trading with prop for the past 3 years predominantly, and not with live, like my own personal account, which I've only started to do probably this year, I'm noticing on my personal account, I'm undersized like a lot, and it hurts me because the moves I want to be in heavy, I just can't put I don't know why, I just can't put the size behind it when I click the button. I'm just like, I'm so used to seeing, no more than in a day, $1,000 drawdown. That if I ever want to size a position of like 10K plus, which I really should do on my personal account, like on swing trade even, I just don't do it. I end up risking like 0.1% of my account, and I'm like, this is not prop firms. This is a monthly trade you're taking, and you're like, for example, my NASDAQ trade is a great example. My options port, I wanted to risk 10% on this idea, so it's like a pretty decent chunk of risk. I ended up sizing, because I'm not used to seeing the big number, I ended up sizing about 2.5%, and even for me, that was like, oh, that's too much for me. I don't want to risk that. So I need to work on that. Something I think a lot of traders deal with is sizing up.
Okay, that's good. I feel like that's most, I would say, like, that's the most the hardest problem to go through. Of course, it's like, in terms of psychology, I think like discipline problems is not really a psychology problem. It's more of a personality problem, where you can like do a lot of things outside of the chart to make sure that you start respecting your plan, or even just do a lot of stuff related to backtesting to build your confidence. But in terms of being able to stomach bigger losses and stomach unrealized profits, it's a whole different ballgame. And I saw someone typing, just put ticks instead of money. I would say it doesn't really work.
But in my
Yes,
head,
it could help. It could help, but like it doesn't work that way in that sense. Like, you need to know
actually
exactly.
hilarious, because I think prop has done so much for me in terms of making me understand the value of compounding accounts and compounding your gains. But at the same time, it is a different game. Like prop and live,
Yeah,
right?
It is.
And the live account, you can only, and for me, the way I view it like this is quite empirically. It's like, I'm really doing myself a lot of damage in the long run by undersizing my winning trades, because there will come a time where I get over it and I start to size up, and maybe I could have some negative variance or whatever, and that's gonna hurt me for like, again, on this week, guys, like I wanted to risk 10% of my options portfolio. So it's a big position. I'm like, I funded an account this year for options specifically just for swing trading, because I have a futures account for swing trading, I have an options account for swing trading. And I was like, I want to start making trades. So I get in here, right? Like, let's say I think it was Tuesday when we close through this 4 hour. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, remember I said if we close through this gap, I'm gonna be very bearish. So on Tuesday, you can see we close through. So on Wednesday, I'm looking for shorts. I'm buying essentially options somewhere in this candle. Like this, let's say I buy like somewhere, okay? And I'm just putting a stop loss of, see, like up in here, wherever that swing point forms with ES. So ES takes out this high, like that. So let's say I'm getting an option somewhere in here. I'm putting my stop loss like there. I'm supposed to risk to this low, guys, like 10% of my account. What I end up risking is 2.5%. So this is a 2.5% return for 2.6R. That's really dangerous in the long run. If on my next trade I end up risking that 10% and I get stopped out, because this entire move, which I'm trying to build my account with, I've undersized. And I know it's harmful. I know that like what I did this week is stupid. In terms of, I set a rule for myself. I have a risk management plan, and I saw the contracts, and I'm clicking the sell button on my broker. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to risk that much. Like it's not logical, right? It's
Yeah.
purely emotional. It's purely emotional. And
I feel like the more discretion that you have in your system, which I think you kind of have like a portion of discretion within it, um, the more you need to rely on risk management and the asymmetry of your wins compared to your losses. It's really not about how many times you lose. It's how much you lose when you lose and how much you win when you win. And which is like a complete different like world than what I trade, because I would say my approach is more proper and focused. But I think, yeah, the size specifically when you trade discretion is also something hard, because you're always second guessing. You're going to be like, damn, this can happen and that can happen, because like this is really the game. When you use discretion, you're still using some sort of market intuition into that.
yeah,
And
100%.
so it could be hard for the sizing. But guys, just to let you know, 250 likes, we're doing a 50k select account giveaway, so make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Also, I just saw a message. I need to go to the bathroom, but I'm gonna read your message because I saw you were posting that message 55 times. Amos, in trade C, is there any indicator shows the last 4 candles in different times interval, like what you use for trading view? I actually don't know. I never use trade C. I am a Tradeify demon. Okay, so I only use Tradeify. I've been using Tradeify since 2022, so I actually don't even know any other platforms. I love Tradeify. I love the feels. I love how the candles fluctuate. It makes me want to trade it, and I never get slipped. I have the perfect entry, perfect exit, and there is a free copy trader within it. So I'm old school within, let's say, the platforms. Tradeify for me is number one. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there is some good indicators that will show you, or like just buy another screen. You buy another screen, you have two screens, and look at your trading view on one chart on one screen, and look at your trade C on the other. That's usually what I do, by the way. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and when I come back, we better have 250 likes, guys. All right, so we're coming back.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some water too. If we're taking a quick break, I'm just gonna grab some water. I'll be back in like a minute with Moss. Alright, I'm back before Moss. Awesome. I have sparkling water. So this is something I'd be interested in on Dow. Like we just talked about. If we can form some sort of sequence early on in Asia to get down to these lows and this monthly open, right? This new week opening gap down here, I would take it, but I would need to see probably the next hourly candle give me something, because at the moment we're just consolidating in here, not really doing anything. But this is that key level, guys. I want to see price go lower from, right? This 4-hour gap. The ideal thing for this to happen right now is for YM to come up and run out this high, and then start to reverse, while NASDAQ fails to run out that high. We get some sort of sequence like that, it'd be very good. When your main friend leaves, you just got the side friend to talk to. True. My main friend is back.
I'm back.
I grabbed water too. I was back before you though. You weren't 45 seconds today. You weren't scalping.
Yeah, scalping. Yeah, scalp the piss.
Yeah, you weren't scalp pissing today.
Let's see if there's any if you have any questions, guys, related to anything, let us know. We're here for that also. Let me read some comments here. Yeah, so I use Tradeify, guys. I use Tradeify. So if you have any like trade C questions, I'm not sure if there's any indicators or yeah.
I've also never used Trade C.
I've heard very good things about it though. Like I've heard there was a trade copier within the platform.
Oh, really?
Those were great too. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Really cool, actually.
What is your indicator for the PO3? It is called ICT HTF candles
By Fadi.
by Fadi.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Oh yeah.
I got that one up on my charts as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the cleanest.
It's clean.
Yeah. What are your thoughts during slow candles? I am just not like, look, when a candle is printing, I always look at the previous one and tell myself, how is the next one going to close? If I don't know how, I cannot predict where the next candle will close, I cannot trade it. You know, so I am just sitting on my hands, which is currently what I'm doing. I'll show you a perfect example of how do I frame the next candle to be bullish or bearish, and because we saw the scenario on gold earlier, and it jumped into my eyes. So I'll show you here. Okay, so let's come back right there. You see right here. Okay, number one, yes, we do have a candle closure back within the range plus having an unfilled gap above us. But one thing that I have in mind, guys, is what is going to happen when we dig into this gap. Okay, so first of all, there is a move to be taken from the closure of that candle to this gap. Okay, that's the first scalp that I have in mind. But second is this next candle going to close bearish or is it going to close bullish? And usually when I see this, I would remain bullish because of how we closed from the previous range. Okay, so right there, I'll go on the 1 minute chart and display how the hourly candle is printing. But if I am predicting that the next candle will be bullish, okay, then basically what I'm fading is the fact that the next candle will be a perfect reversal. I'm basically fading the fact that the next candle will not do this. Open, go higher, flip below the opening price, hold below the opening price, and close bearish like this. When I see that this candle printed before, I am basically telling myself there's only 30% chance of us actually sweeping the previous candle's high, closing back within the range bearish perfectly. So then, if I have this in mind, I do not want to trade the short, and I am predicting that the next candle will be bullish, then what do I want to see here? I want to see the complete opposite. I want to see the new candle opening, going higher, and then shifting below the opening price. When this happens, buyers get trapped here on that first distribution. Sellers step in, and we are now trading below the opening price of that new hourly candle. Once we have this, we have like a very good area to take a trade because there's going to be blood in the market. Sellers are stepping in, buyers just got squeezed, so there is an opportunity for sellers to potentially bring price back down. But for me, I am not actually going to look for sales because I know there's only 35% chance of the next candle to close as a reversal in the first place. So now, especially also seeing that reversal candle from that 8 p.m. 1 hour bar, I am going to be looking for long. So what am I going to look for is that that market structure shift to get invalidated and us to be creating the downwick of a future bullish bar. Okay, so here, once we shift, I am going to look for those sellers to get squeezed. Okay, and once those sellers get squeezed, then I have the confirmation that, okay, we probably formed the downwick, the bottom wick of a candle that will most likely close bullish. And now every long above this, I would say this high break, the first accumulation phase is going to be very good long to see then the bullish closure. So in terms of like timing of the distribution and what is forming that pattern, it's AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So the first stage would be accumulation, the second stage would be manipulation, and the third stage would be distribution. But this can only make sense if you have a way of framing how the next candle will close. So if I come back here, so the first move that I have is a play from the close to the gap. This is an easy play, easy scalp, which we see here, boom, which is a play where you'll see me catch a lot. But then this is really where the real ball game starts, because right there, my anticipation is that the next candle will close bullish. So what do I want to see? I want to see us breaking out from that previous candle's high, but then buyers being squeezed here. Okay, let's see. Buyers get squeezed right there. So number one phase, and this is what I call accumulation. But accumulation can be on the way down, but it could also be like a pure chop, okay, like a sideways chop. And then right here, once we start digging below this hourly candle's opening price, this is where I'm like, okay, there's gonna be blood in the market, because now we're below the opening price. Sellers are gonna step in. They could, you know, bring price back down, but what I want to see is not this. I want to see us being creating a manipulation leg, basically forming the bottom wick of a candle that will eventually close bullish. So let's see here. The only way for me to note that is with what we call the flip. So going back down to then reflipping back bullish and breaking bullish structure. So then we sweep the low and we start. Let's see what happened here. Chop, 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 chop. Sellers are stepping in again. So you see here, we are still below the opening price, and if we pull back up very aggressively and we reflip back bullish, exactly like here, okay, this is the moment where I will anticipate that this low, timing wise, is the manipulation. Okay, so basically an open low, and then right now we are yet to form the high and then close. So then at that moment, any longs here is a very good long, especially to anticipate that candle to close bullish and drive us back up towards the previous candle's high, which is 47. So anything here, let's say I get picked up, and then that would have, you see, that is my thought process every time when I see a candle. What is the likelihood of the next candle to close bullish or bearish? And if I know, if I can tell myself, okay, the next candle doesn't have a lot of chances of closing bearish because of what happened previously, then I'm always fading the opposite market participants. So I'm only looking for longs for that whole hour, if it makes sense. So I'm always thinking about a way where did we form a protected high, or did we form a protected low from what I'm anticipating? But if you don't have that anticipation in the first place, you're just basically trading the 1 minute structure and predicting. So that's pretty much my overall like perspective, and we see that very often. Like I'll show you another example of that. We can see them in a lot of scenarios for sure. But I'll give you an example here. Let's see how easy. Okay, exactly here. Okay, so let's say here we have price being basically creating that reversal candle. Okay, once we create that reversal candle, I know the sellers are the one controlling the market and the buyers are currently being squeezed. Okay, if we were truly bullish, we would have been able to close above that previous candle's high and establish new value above it. But here we can't. So then what is currently happening is that it's giving me a signal that I need to look for shorts. Okay, but what am I anticipating at this candle closure? Okay, so let's say here I am anticipating accumulation to form. So this is basically how I would frame the next candle from here. Would be, I would expect us to close bearish on the next hour. So what do I want to see? I want to see price creating what? Accumulation at first, manipulation to the upside, creating the upwick of a future bearish bar. And at that moment, right here, I don't know if it's going to be the upwick or the downwick. Basically, I don't know if it's going to go up or down, but I know I will know it once we start breaking past this low. Once we have this, then timing wise, how much time is there left for that hourly candle to close? If there's not a lot of time left, then that high is potentially protected. So then I can sell back towards the close and then anticipate even the next candle to do the same. So then here, let's say, you see how we shift above that internal high? This is usually where I would anticipate that shift to be a fake out. And then once we pull back in right here, this is where I would anticipate a short. Okay, so then right there, this is where I would anticipate that this high is protected. Okay, within the range, or even waiting a little bit longer, boom, right here, and then I'd be like this, okay, and then predicting that the next candle would be bearish, okay. So here we went for a resweep again, which is crazy, but still, we'll see how that candle will close. This is a really choppy candle though. But you see how that candle ends up closing bearish. New one opens, drives down. You have your take profit right here. Okay, what a choppy price action on that day though. It's kind of crazy. Wow, okay. But you see like the principle behind it. That ended up being like an extremely choppy day with also a Trump news right in the middle, but you understand the framework behind it. Let me know if it was clear.
That's fire. That's how you trade reverse candles.
Yeah.
Me and you trade pretty similar, man.
Yeah, we do. We do 100%. I just don't add the SMT confirmations, but
yeah, that's just a candle filter.
yeah.
Yo, please, could you explain graphically how to identify strong and lagging assets? Giving an example. Yeah, of course. It's really simple, guys. The leading asset, whenever you're considering a market, is the asset which hits a key level first. There's always going to be only two forms of key levels: a gap, lower high, or a external lower high. So if we were to do this schematically, it would just be something like this. You have three assets that are related. They're all reversing towards a high, okay? So that's asset one. Let's do another color here. We'll do asset two. And asset three. Okay, so these are three assets. The first asset to hit the draw on liquidity, meaning this high, right? That's called your leading asset. These have to be related markets, okay? So these have to be a triad. This is your leading asset. These are always going to be a market triad, such as, let's use the indices for just the clearest example, okay? So when one asset, let's call this the NASDAQ, right? If NASDAQ hits the high, then there's gonna be a couple other assets which have yet to hit that high. So the other assets are gonna look like this. They're gonna be somewhere in relation to that high, right? And they're gonna be spaced out in a way, okay? I failed art like 4 times. I almost failed engineering because I couldn't do graphics. For any engineers who know what that is, I couldn't do engineering graphics. I also couldn't do art there. So the middle asset is always going to be the asset that is in the second closest proximity to the high. This will always be the middle asset, okay? And then it follows, right, that the asset that is in the furthest proximity away from the high, okay, that's going to be the lagging asset. There's always going to be that kind of logic, okay? Now, how we trade this sequence of these assets getting to the high is first of all recognizing, should these assets in the first place get to this high? There's 2 ways. So we need to first ask ourselves is, are we going to reverse when the leading asset hits the high, meaning that all assets are going to start to do this? Or are the other assets going to come in and get to the high themselves? And the way we can differentiate if this is going to happen, which we call SMT breaking is the expression we'll use, is very mechanical. There's 2 things that we need to look for. The first thing we look for is on the asset number 1. So on the leading assets, we need to see the following. A failure to manipulate, and then a strength switch with the lagging and middle assets. This might sound confusing, but it's entirely mechanical, okay? So what is a failure to manipulate? A failure to manipulate is one of 2 things. It is either actually, I have my Figma here. I can pull up a slide from my course. This would probably be the best. You probably put it on the screen here. Give me 1 second, guys. So I'm not just drawing a shitty fucking schematic for you. I'm actually using something that's more relevant. Give me a second.
have 1,000 slides of course slides, so you're gonna have to give me a second. Okay, I found it. I wonder if I can copy and paste a PNG into this. There we go. All right, guys. Can you guys see this? It's so much better than whatever the hell I'm drawing here.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You're gonna have one asset that comes into a high or low. Okay, then when that leading asset tags that high or low, the other assets in proximity away from those highs, we're gonna have to ask, are we reversing, or are we consolidating or retracing? Consolidating and retracement are both continuation signatures. So continuation signatures in the market are 1, consolidations, and 2, retracements. And it actually looks like this.
I'll show you another slide because it's so much better if I show you a slide that's already made that makes more sense to you. It looks like this. Okay, guys? Not the image. Copy and paste as PNG. There we go. Okay, so another slide.
So these are your consolidation and retracement signatures. So when we come into this old high, if you see price start to consolidate, meaning asymmetric consolidation, which looks like that seek and destroy like we talked about, or like Amos told you, where it just chops up and down. These are both signs that the market is going to continue to go higher. Also, if market expands and then retraces into a gap, it's also a continuation signature. What is not a continuation signature is if price does this. Comes into the old high and then V-shapes away, okay? It starts to expand lower. It'll look like this. Here's the old high in the market. Market comes in and then starts to expand rapidly away. If we see these two signatures paired with that high being taken on the leading asset, we now can anticipate that SMT that forms with the middle and lagging asset to break. So what does that look like? So there's our two conditions, right? Condition 1, we need to see a new phase of price, which is not a reversal. It has to be either consolidation or retracement. Okay. The second step I told you was we need to see a strength switch. So what does that look like?
Again, if you don't mind, I'll just be able to pull up a slide for you. It's a lot easier for me. I'm going to show you a schematic myself. It needs to look like this, okay? So here we go. Sorry, Moss is taking longer than I wanted it to, but
You're good, bro.
I'm kind of yapping, but really good question, actually.
Okay. So the next thing we want to see is this then, okay? So once we see this leading asset come into this high and fail to reverse, what we want to next see is this strength switch. So this right here is how you trade asset synchronization, which is the same thing as trading SMT's breaking. You see how this asset 1 that came into that key level in this schematic right here forms this down close candle and a gap, and this forms this up close candle and a gap. That is a strength switch. And then when we get a SMT sequence with that, we can now trade that asset breaking the high. So this is what I talked to you about, on my last week's stream with Amos. It's the same logic I'm using for the silver idea today. You're going to be able to see that. We're going to have this SMT fill, and potentially one asset will take out the high first. This is really how we approach trading, like those lagging assets to hit the same draw, okay? So you need to see some form of strength switching. And there is multiple forms of strength switching. It can be as simple as something like this, right? That will show you as well. It can be something as simple as this. It doesn't need to be a 2-stage like we talked about. It can also be a 1-stage. And again, if this is unclear to you, just go to my YouTube channel. My model's entirely there. This could also be it. Look, this asset, which is the leading asset, it hits the draw first. Then the lagging asset here, you can see, has not yet hit the draw, okay? So then what we do is we see a strength switch. Sorry. The leading asset hits the draw. The lagging asset has not. We see a strength switch where this asset comes into the gap and this asset doesn't. And then this asset expands and breaks that SMT. That is to say, right, in these markets, when you see these types of SMTs form, you can mechanically use this specific type of framework, strength switching with key levels, to break SMTs. And this is probably 50 to 70% of all trades I take. It's 100% mechanical. And it's why, I've spent a lot of time developing my model. As you can see, I have hundreds of slides because it's actually mechanical. You can actually go in and backtest this stuff, and it's the same approach every time, right? So that's how I'll teach you those concepts. And there's a lot more, obviously, but I'm just yapping at this point. That's a short explanation. Because I never want to teach you guys something that I consider to be bullshit. Like if I'm ever bullshitting you in my mind, I'm not gonna feel good about it. So I'd rather teach you something mechanical that I've made, a real effort of trying to explain and done the work, doing my own backtesting and teaching it to you, than just like bullshitting to you on the chart, right? That doesn't help you. Yeah. Okay, that's that question.
W is in the chat for that explanation, guys. I mean, when it comes down to the bias and stuff, bro, with those SMTs, bro, you got it.
Yeah, it's just part of my system, bro. In the same way you probably refined everything in your system, I have no doubts.
Yeah.
For me, it's just one big part of the system, and I more than most traders use 3 assets. Like I will never look at one chart. It's almost irrelevant for me to look at one chart. Every trade I take will be structured around 3 assets that form a market narrative. So, yeah. For most, that what we just said there might have zero salience. It might make no sense. But if you trade the way I do it, it means everything, because in the vast majority of cases, you're trading to lows and highs that have been taken out by one market. See, so now you want to see an example on the real chart. I can easily show you that. Prove to you I'm not just making Figma slides and bullshitting you. Look, this is the swing trade I took on NASDAQ, right? Look at this low. This low is this low here on that YM. Look at how spaced out we are. Here, look, YM is at the bottom of the range, okay? Look at the middle asset. Remember I told you about strength? It's always this way. If YM is the weakest, ES is the middle asset, and NASDAQ is the strongest. NASDAQ is the highest in its range. YM is at its low, and ES is the middle asset. Look, it's in a premium, or in this case, it's in EQ, where this asset's in a premium. It's always the case of strength. That rarely changes, okay? So now, how do we get down to that low? Well, we know that if this asset fails to do what? If it fails to V-shape away, that means ES is going to get there and NASDAQ is going to get there. That's SMT breaking. You know that's going to happen. Okay? So look, to get down to that same low, what do we want to see? A strength switch. So while this asset consolidates or retraces, this asset's going to expand. Look at this day, okay? We run out the highs again on NASDAQ. We run out this high. Is this asset really reversing? Let's look in here. Okay, look left. The next draw on liquidity for NASDAQ might be these highs. Okay, so maybe we're going to form SMT, guys. Look. We're going to form SMT, and we're going to expand towards the high. Great. What's the red flag? This asset is not expanding away from the low. Zoom into this candle. I can prove it to you. We're consolidating here. It's clearly consolidating. That is a, remember, expansion, consolidation, expansion. That's a continuation signature. So look at what happens to break the SMT. That's your first red flag, which me and Amos talked about this last week on Thursday. We literally said on this day in Asia, yeah, we don't see YM really start to V-shape away from, go back to our stream last week. We don't see YM start to V-shape away. These assets could also get down here. We could actually form a open high low close week as opposed to an open low high close. It's good that we did this stream last week because we actually did this live. We talked about how we can either get to that high by doing this week, or we can get down to this low by doing this, and you'll see what happens. Look at the next week. Okay, continuation through the low. That right there tells you everything you need to know. Because Friday, like we said, comes back in the range. This asset's failing to reverse. Look at Monday, confirm this narrative. You're gonna see it. This is the strength switch. Look. Okay. Asset runs out the high, forming the high of the week. Open high. Now we're like, okay, let's get down to the low. Look at the next day. Okay, this asset's in deep discount. This asset's in deep premium. This was my winning trade, okay? This was on the 18th, so this is Tuesday. This was my 3R NASDAQ winning trade. How do we frame that trade? You're going to see it, dude. It's the exact same logic. Look. In this day, look at this asset. Yes. By the time we trade into the open, it takes out the low. Look where NASDAQ is. Come 6 a.m. NASDAQ is so spaced out. So what do we want to see, guys? Well, look at that slide. We want to see an SMT in the gap where this asset clearly is doing what? Consolidating. Expansion consolidation. Because it's so low in the range. This asset's doing what? Expanding. There's that strength switch SMT. There you go. This is called a strength switch SMT fill. It's also a PSP. So it's the high of day. It's a 2-stage. Now you don't have to know any of that. That's all just irrelevant. All you have to know is that this asset with a valid entry technique of your choosing should be weaker this day. Why we short NASDAQ to that low. Because look at these assets. Closing as a consolidation candle. Look, it's a middle asset. Look, it's weaker than YM. Or sorry, it's stronger than NASDAQ, right? And it's weaker than YM. YM makes a new high on the 4-hour chart. And ES doesn't. It's a middle asset and it's already taken the low. Look at the next candle. After that SMT fill, and it's going to expand. That should be the next day. So we short on this day and we short the next day as well, right? And you can see how this asset makes this really large retracement. And look at this asset, really large retracement. Look what never gets violated. This swing point on NASDAQ. This is where I took my positional trade. Remember I told you, I want to short down to when YM hits the new week opening gap. Okay? On Tuesday, that's exactly what I traded, positionally. So that's how we can see a strength switch to those lows, okay? So this is that same logic. And on this day, you could have taken it as a day trade like this. It looks like this, okay? So you're not targeting this low, obviously. You're gonna target this low because you're day trading, not swing trading for a daily candle, right?
You're not night trading. You get the move.
You are trading just to this short-term low. Look, just this short-term low. Once you get that sequence that we told you right here, which is that strength switch, look at my execution. It's going to be aligned with the driver. So we get this strength switch at 6 a.m. 2 stage that looks like this. NASDAQ trades into a 30-minute gap. Like that. Again, it doesn't really matter if you use all the entry techniques or whatever. All I need to do is see a V shape and target that low. Well, that looks like a pretty good V shape to me. Look, boom, boom. I'm going to take it 1 minute. I'm trying to think of where my entry was. It was higher in the range. Yeah, I was right here. Yeah, there you go. Well, everything is aligned because you're getting that strength switch like we talked about. This asset was once way stronger. Now it's much, much weaker. And now it's going to break the SMT. Pretty choppy.
Holy trigger finger right there.
You can see it. This is what I mean by it's been very choppy. So on this day, I actually don't break even myself. So if you guys are, watch my Tuesday recap, I actually held this trade because I'm a good boy and I should have held my trade. This is the same thing that happened today. This is very, very similar. If you guys look at this price action today, I want you to compare this chart right here. It's almost identical of a setup to today. Look, take a mental screenshot of that in your head. Now look at today's price action. See the similarities? That's why I knew today I should have held my trade. Where is it? Where is my trade? Okay. Look how similar this looks. How high resistance it is. These really deep retracements. That's because we're in this New York consolidation for the most part. We expand overnight, right? But I know that this inbound, it's the same thing, guys. Look, today, it's the exact same trade. How do we break SMT? We need a strength switch, right? Look at the current daily low. Look, YM took the low right here. Okay? So now NASDAQ can break the SMT because we're bearish. We're not going to look for longs. Look at this. On open, we form this SMT, but it's not a strength switch. Notice why I don't short NASDAQ here. It's not a strength switch. This is the stronger asset making a higher high. Not interested in it. I need to see the framework of a strength switch here to break SMT. Okay? So no trade for me there. Now look how beautiful market will align itself with a strength switch to get you on side. Ah, there it is. In the 90-minute gap, YM, which is the weaker asset forms a higher high. Look at the low. This is the range, guys. You're trading one candle as a range. Okay, this is the candle's high, and this is the candle's low. Look how this asset takes out the candle's low first. Now you're thinking, is that going to hold? Because if it holds, all assets can V-shape away, right? Clearly we don't. What is it doing? Zoom in. Is it reversing or is it consolidating? Great question. Well, that looks to me like consolidation, which is a what? Continuation signature. So we do not trade this as a reversal, meaning that SMT is going to break. How is it going to break? A strength switch. Then wait for it. You know what's going to happen. Well, I'm kicking myself for being an idiot today and moving my stop loss. I already knew what was going to I had a good idea of what was going to happen. There's a strength switch. You know it's a continuation signature. Now it should break the SMT. So should ES. And there we go, right? And you get that V shape right here, which is your entry. Just looks really bad because, like I said, we're consolidating. But it's super mechanically valid. Right? You would just do that and target the SMT break. This is why I had a bad day. I went break even. Okay. So
a lot of people are actually like very like asking multiple questions about your framework, and so I really thought not a lot of people traded ICT concepts in the first place, but it looked like a lot of people are still do actually. Yeah.
If you guys want to learn stuff, man, go watch my YouTube, man. I have like, I mean, I would love for you guys. Let me just like show you real quickly. Last thing I'll show, and then I'll get back to Amos. Wonder if I can take like a screenshot and show you guys. I have 815. I'll just tell you, I have 815 Figma slides of things that I can teach you, and it's all on my YouTube. There's 850 slides like the one you saw earlier. So if you want to learn in like a structured way, guys, I know on these streams I don't do a good job of it because it's kind of my head's all over the place and I'm like a little bit ADHD and stuff. So I understand that like I don't teach, maybe the best, but every concept I use, like for example, I got a question in the chat I remember today on how do I use the 6-hour chart or the 90-minute chart. I remember seeing this exact question. Look, dude, you go. This is exactly how I use it. All right. This is how I use the 6-hour chart, and this is how I use the 90-minute chart. I'll show you. It's all there. I've taught it like mechanically. I don't know if this is on YouTube. This might be not on YouTube yet, but in the future, I'll probably make a YouTube video on this. Like there. So whoever asked me how I use quarterly theory, boom. It's all mechanical, right? So you can see to time large wicks. If I'm bullish at 10, I'm going to use a 90-minute open to time a large hourly wick. I'm going to use a 6-hour open to time a large 4-hour wick. But I know if I say that, it's not as helpful as if I can actually teach it to you with these slides. So this is all like you go on my YouTube and I'll be able to show you some stuff like that, guys. Because in these sessions, I don't do a great job. I know. All right. Back to you.
W, brother. No, actually, like you're pretty insane. Like I knew how deep, of course, your strategy was, but like every time you speak about like a different scenario, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I saw that in the past. Like I see the exact same thing, but I just require, I would say, less confirmations, or actually I see it as an exit. I see the trade of, okay, I want to see price go from here to here, which you will potentially hold it for even longer. So that is very good to see like both perspectives, of course. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do. The more I see you trade, the more I can honestly, objectively say we trade extremely similar. I was even telling some of my students, I'm like, Moss and I actually trade very similar in the fact that we're both positioning ourselves in reversals. For me, it's just there's more confluences that I add because I trade larger ranges. Realistically, the only difference between us is I trade larger ranges, and I like to. The idea of my trading is just a higher time frame swing point, a lower time frame entry. Your entire model is a lower time frame swing point and a lower time frame exit. So you don't need to have these filters to confirm swings, because as I'm entering a swing, you might already be break even, and that's the only difference. Like realistically, that's the main thing, is that I've seen a lot of your trades. I even reverse engineered some. We're taking the exact same trades. I'm typically entering as you get break even or you take a 1R. and I'm looking at, the expansion of that same swing that you framed. You're just looking at getting on the volatility, the quick V shape, and immediately get to break even once it gives you a reaction. I'm looking to confirm the swing and then trade it, in the next candle.
100%. That's exactly it.
It's very,
I
very
am gonna look for a trade, guys. Within the next few minutes at the open, we'll see. Starting to move right now, so we could have a potential trade here. But I would want to see us trade back below 74, guys. I won't lie. Overall, my bias is bearish on the daily. I would want to see us go back down towards that daily low. On the hourly here, we do have, unfortunately, an inside bar candle, a candle that is not able to trade below the previous candle's low or above the previous candle's high. That is telling me that there was a lot of accumulation within the last hour, so I need to be very cautious of the trade that I will take, because yes, I could play the extremes, but the open can be vicious to sweep any of those levels if I don't wait for enough confirmation. So we'll see. If we get past 28, I would say it's a pretty easy long for me to scalp that internal high of 45, which is exactly a similar type of trade that I took earlier this morning with you guys, but ended up chopping me up. I will be patient. I need to stay focused right here, but a lot of things can change within the next 5 minutes. Do I add my email to my YouTube? If you win, if you win the account. So guys, we're currently running giveaways. So 350 likes. We're doing a 50K, another 50K select. So the first like goal was 250. Second like goal is 350. So let's get it. Let's get it. I said it was 301 and then it came back to 299. Like, bro, why are you getting rid of your like? Like, the like is free.
That's true. It does help us out a lot, guys, more than you know. It's the only reason why. It's the only reason why, like, guys like me can even come on the channel. Actually, is because the channel's growing. And then Amos is like, "Yo, let's bring on some people. The channel's growing. It's awesome."
He's right, though.
You guys like stuff, and you guys want to like see guys like me be able to come on. I literally wouldn't be able to be here unless you guys like and subscribe. So,
damn,
shameless. True. I mean, it's true.
What a good way to say it. Yeah.
That's why every time I come on stream, guys, I'm gonna try and show you something about my model, like something I can try and teach you mechanically. You can go back, you can watch it, you can learn something every day I'm on stream. So, yeah, if you like, it makes a difference. Make sure they can't get rid of me, all right, guys? They have to bring me back on.
We got you, brother. I saw the ICT concepts and removed the like. That's kind of funny. I mean, ICT hate is still good. It drives attention. As someone who posts videos online and stuff, like you, as someone who's a content creator also, like you can't, when you create videos, you cannot create a video to be liked. You need to create a video to be talked about, and there needs to be people that hate on you for you to go viral. Most of my viral videos, people are like commenting some laughing out loud emojis, just laughing emojis, and it's all right. I'll take it. I'll take your comment and feed the algorithm. We need it.
Yeah, man, there's no such thing as bad publicity or something. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah. You can't be liked. If you're liked, that means that you're not driving enough attention. If you drive enough attention, people are gonna hate you just for the way that you look, the way that you speak, the way that you
Yeah, it's always easier, I think, just to shit on someone. I realize being on social media now for like 4 years, it's like you can never really do anything right. So you may as well not even try to please other people. You gotta be able to sleep with yourself, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
At first, so I don't know. We probably same with you when you first started. It was like, man, those hate comments, or just like you just wanted to make sure everyone like had a good impression of you. These days, I could give less of that. Like these days, like you're never gonna make anybody happy. You can teach everything for free, and you're teaching it wrong. You can charge for a course, and you're a course seller. You can trade live, and you're taking a stream off trade, so you're a scammer. You can post a recap, and you can post a recap, and then people will be like, "Nice, you didn't trade." You know what's funny?
Yeah. There's always something. You can post, bro. You can post huge.
I'll trade live, and I'll lose. And I'll be like, "Yeah, I lost. I'm gonna see if there's any more setups throughout the day." Then I'll post a winning trade later that I took using the exact same framework. And I'll be like, "Nice, bro. You lost on your live like always, and then you won off stream." Then you'll win on stream, and they'll be like, "Well, you know what? Like this was a cherry picked day. Like how many times have you taken trades off stream?" I'm like, "How do you win? Like how can you win that? You don't like it when I win on stream or off stream."
I mean, you're right though on that way. Like, there's always something to hate about for sure. Like, I even experienced that like lately. Let's say I'll post back-to-back payouts, and then some people will be like, "Okay, show expenses." You're like, "Bro, like if I don't show payouts, I'm not real. If I show payouts, then I need to show you my expenses."
So if you don't post payouts, you're like a LARP. You're like full on LARPing. Now the minute you post your payouts, like, okay, show me every single dollar you've spent. Not even just on prop. Show me every dollar you spend day to day.
God, yeah. That's real though.
Last month I had my statistic, one of my largest months. I had like $96,000 of payouts across multiple firms. And the first question that I got, like, probably 15, 20 DMs was, "You probably spent more on evals and challenges to get that payout." And I'm like, brother, if I'm spending $94,000 on challenges in a month, think about how many accounts I'm blowing. Secondly, if I don't
5,000
if I don't post the payout, then you wouldn't have asked this in the first place. So would you rather me not post the payout? Like you just can't win. You just literally can't win, right? I think I spent like what? Probably like 5K, maybe 7K on challenges. Because I honestly only used like 2 cents to get that with payouts. But it's like you shouldn't feel the need to have to justify every single move all the time. You gotta be like ICT and just like stir up some shit and then just like let people talk.
Yeah, but I feel like that's different kind of person, like people for sure. Like I know myself, I've never been a hater. I know myself, like I truly, I don't remember the last time I truly commented on someone else's post and be like, "Yo, this or that," I never, even like back in 2022, 2023, like I would never do that.
Yeah, I'm very thankful that when I started learning, there's people who were like posting about actually making money and doing it. Because the only reason why I didn't give up, I would have given up so many times if I didn't like see some people out there actually doing it properly. And like it was the same people who I'd like, I joined their Discords, I'd watch them lose, and then I'd be like, wait, I know this guy actually makes money. So like, you gotta be thankful for everyone who just like deals with all the bullshit and still keeps posting content. Yeah. Or else I don't know. Would you have kept trading if you didn't see anybody truly like making money that you actually knew made money? Like for me, there was one guy who I was in his Discord, and he was like my mentor, the MXM trader, and like I would watch him lose all the time. Like he traded live and lose all the time, but I was like, no, this guy actually makes money. So I got so much conviction in the system. So I was like, seeing this guy lose money all the time, like live, but still make money doing this, made me not want to quit trading. I don't know how you felt about that, but
I to be honest, I did not really follow anyone, really, to be completely honest. Yeah, I did not follow anyone. I was like, this is a video game. So I'll definitely get good at it at one point. Guys, I mean, currently it is an inside bar candle, man. It can go both ways. It can truly go both ways. It's a tough decision. I would say, like, just basing myself off of the previous range, like we're not even closing below. It's a hard decision. Like usually I want to take trades right at the open, but currently seeing that inside bar, not even able to trade below 85, so which means the 80% of the previous candle's range, it is hard for me to just frame the open right now. It's better for me to wait for us to open and then probably trade the first 15-minute bar. If we do get a breakout below that hourly low, I will stay out of this, and you can see it right here, like just purely seeing the accumulation phase. First hour being fully, like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, truly.
I'm also looking different.
We have no direction right now. This is the first hourly bar closed, and then this is the second. This is what I'm playing with.
But if YM runs out the 6 p.m. high, previous hourly high, I'll be looking to frame a short as well on Nasdaq.
Like, I like the shorts overall, but it's definitely a hard play. Can go both ways. I'll stay out of that one. I would still frame it a short right now, but at this point, it's pretty much a 50-50. 44% of people are short. Let's see what will happen. I don't think it's a bad play to short, but I think it's definitely lower probability with the overall context to just take a trade in the first place. Might get chopped up within that range. Yeah.
The YM just ran out that hourly high. So here is where I'm going to look, if we get a sequence, to probably short Nasdaq as well. We have to see a flip lower now, right? So now we have that 2-stage on the hourly, looks like this. The 4-hour high here is this gap fill. That's the first stage of SMT with the gap. This, and now we're seeing the hourly strength switch, like we talked about, right? So the asset that ran out the high is now making a lower high. And look at this. Probably going to give a signal here shortly. We can look at that. Look at this range. It's near EQ of the range. So now all I have to do mechanically is this. Wait for V-shaped reversal on these assets and then take a short. This is the invalidation now. This becomes my swing point. That's the invalidation. The draw on liquidity becomes the opposing side of the range. We're in this opposing run right here. So we would want to see price stay in respect of this if it's going to go lower. And the hard invalidation would be this high. And our entry would be if it comes back down and makes a new low, like it closes through this candle, for example, before out that high. If it runs up that high, there's no short. Simple as that.
I'm very glad I did not enter a trade right now, because this is exactly what I was saying. Inside bar candles, I don't usually enter any trades that end up being inside bars, because it is pretty much gambling at that point. It is gambling the open. You don't know which side it's gonna go, you know. So like, I prefer waiting for one side to get disregarded or invalidated, us to sweep the range high, probably either come back within the range or break above it, and then frame a trade. Like for me, if that first 15 ends up closing above the hourly high, I'll frame along. If we are able to sweep that hourly high and close back within the range, I'll frame a short for the scalp. So let's see.
Maybe I'll get a trade today, bro. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah, I think you
I rarely get trades on indices.
Yeah, but like with the way that you frame trades, like you definitely ask a lot from the market. So like it's a lower frequency of trades, but like,
and it usually requires like a higher volatility session, typically speaking, because that's when you'll get daily expansions, right? But when we open up very close to the previous day low, that's when it's a very nice time to look for these Asia trades, because then the daily candle, like you said, can open low and then come back in the range. We'll see.
All right, chat. We have 350 likes. Okay, so we locked in the second account. Let's reach 450 for the last like goal. For a 50K elect. All right. Waiting for shorts to answer so we could squeeze them. I feel the same way exactly. Usually, like how I treat those inside bar candles is I will treat them as accumulation. So then if we sweep the top of the range and then we fluctuate back below, like we're very close to the opening price, then I will treat the sweep as manipulation, and then that second stage basically as being that third stage being distribution, so seeing those lows being taken out. So while this candle is still fluctuating, if we're fluctuating back down towards, I would say like 98, 99, very close to the opening price, I will basically predict that we are going to flip, use 86 as a stop to then run back towards 73. But we need to see that like immediate reaction from that high sweep when we have that inside bar candle, which is a trade that we took together once. But if we start breaking and establishing like strength above it, probably play the longs.
Yeah, if we don't get that flip, then YM to that high also looks like the next draw for me. Like to that 4-hour high that we talked about. But I prefer Nasdaq to stay in respect to that invalidation we talked about. That'd be ideal. Like I actually really do like the short thesis here. It's forming a setup I would take. I will take it if we get something. It has to stay in. The closer it gets, like we said, to this high, the less probable it is. I also really dislike seeing the ES equal highs because this isn't a gap, okay? So because this isn't a gap, you can see this is an external swing. It's more likely to form a manipulation of that swing. And that means that NASDAQ could also probably just take out the invalidation. But that would have been great. This would have been a great setup to get down that one. We'll see.
Yeah, I am definitely eyeing potential opportunity. I think if we can get past, I am not against longs also, like
yeah,
if we invalidate 46 right now, like if we break above that hourly high, for me
that's long.
We're probably going to fill the entirety of that gap at 56
for my system.
Next level I have.
But it's longs on Dow Jones. It's the same idea. It's just longs on the lagging asset then.
Dow Jones.
Yeah, it's a YM.
Yeah, I know, but like,
I just like fading like the daily structure on the indices. I don't like trading higher at all, so probably just sit it out. But super valid counter if we do get above that high. We both have the same invalidation, 846 or 346.
Amos, congrats on building up Asia session viewership, successful push, and turning yourself into a D value for Tradeify. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that's a W comment right there.
W.
Yeah, Asia's definitely my favorite session to stream. Definitely the best chat, of course. Sometimes toxic. You know, I know you guys are toxic, but I know you guys are toxic. Why? Yesterday we like, bro, the comments on Terrace, you guys need to chill, bro. You guys are crazy. Some of you guys are actually crazy. But I said that to Colin, of course. I was like, Colin asked me about it. I was like, yo, Asia chat is like the nicest, but could be, you know,
the most
could be giving you a hard time sometimes, you know. But that's good too, you know.
But it's because in New York, everyone is locked in. In New York, I'm so locked in. It's like,
yeah, I think the chat is just being real.
And things move quickly. There's high volatility. You can't really fuck around in New York.
Yeah.
I gotta go watch yesterday's session. I didn't see it.
Yesterday's session was fire too. Like the action was completely different. Like we had such a good read yesterday, but today, I mean, it's not even close. Like the action is so bad.
Man, NASDAQ left equal highs, but that's pretty trash. It's pretty trash. I probably wouldn't. Now I wouldn't short it if we got a CSD lower, just because left equal highs. I'd take a second CSD lower, like a propulsion block for the ICT traders out there. Still a lot of good range.
Yeah, we hear the police in the background.
That's true. I have market makers on my ass. When I was about to take an entry, they were like, chill.
The trading joke right there. Market makers on my ass, damn.
They figured out that we figured out Enigma, and they were like, yo, come arrest us.
Bro, there's no way someone made that joke before, bro. Did ICT said that in the past?
Maybe, I don't know. Probably. That's probably where I got it from, yeah.
Does anyone believe that shit, bro?
Yeah, ICT would think he had someone come and follow him.
I'm actually dying right now, bro. If anyone believed that shit, he is so
Don't disrespect my goat like that, alright?
Yo, shit, bro. Oh my god, I'm actually dying right now. We're going to arrest someone. Oh shit. For trading props is crazy. Holy shit. That made me laugh. Oh shit. But you know, he is one of those guys where you just when you look back, you're like, damn, he's a genius. I said that multiple times.
Like, yeah.
Not just on his work, but really like the storyline he built behind it. I'm like, damn, like as a beginner, you have no other choice but to like believe in it, you know? That storyline, like that gave me like such a deeper understanding of what what you need to do in order to be mainstream or like to be as known as this. Like you don't just need like to be a good teacher or to have, you know, proof of concept. You actually need a storyline. You need like to build like I would say like die-hard followers.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
But like, love him or hate him, like I would say these days I probably don't trade like ICT quote unquote as much. Like I don't like use any of like I mean I only use like mostly what I learned from 2016 and 2017 to be fair. But my entire model is based on, you know, the logic of swing formations, which he taught very well. I don't necessarily know what I don't know what are these words? What's like suspension block and Reaper and Grim Reaper. There's a lot of new names for things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the hell the guy's talking about, but that's fine because the stuff I did resonate with, I really resonated with, right? So
yeah.
I think that's every trader, bro. You take bits and pieces from a whole bunch of different people and you just put. Yeah, first presentation for suspension blocks.
A lot of ICT's older stuff hit alpha decay. I don't know about his other stuff though. I have not backlisted it.
Yeah, all I know is that swing point formations, like swing formations are the market. Like regardless of what year you're trading, what asset you're trading, I can show you a chart. It could be NASDAQ or it could be cattle futures. It could be soybeans and corn. You wouldn't know what. It would just look like a swing point on a chart. So that's the truth, bro. Right?
That's how you believe the chart gets booked, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say like there's some people that, you know, have a completely different edge with like VWAP or like EMAs, and you'd be like, damn, like these guys are freaking insane.
Yeah. For them, some people don't even look at charts. They don't even look at candlesticks. They just look at level 2. Like I've had friends who just trade like DOM and footprints and absorption, order flow. I'm like, bro, what are you? I see some of my friends using these order flow softwares, man. I'm like, and they're like, yo, Fees, like, what do you think of this like absorption, like sellers being mitigated? I'm like, dude, all I see is a big red bubble. Happy for you though. That looks crazy. But they make great money and they do it consistently. Yeah, this is shorts are invalidated for me now until wine.
I like the longs. I actually like the longs on the initial print. I would be tempted to long guys here. Let's see if I can grab something. I'll try a scalp. Potential scalping coming. Someone asked me, "Are you gonna full port?" Because he knows like I'm back on evals.
Oh, you're trading evals now?
Yeah, because I try to build my buffer again. I requested 2 payouts on the 5 sets.
So like nice. Then you
10 payouts. Yeah. And then I try to rebuild the buffer, but on the wrong day, unfortunately. Then I'm back on evals.
Like, yeah, I did that too, by the way. I took a max payout last month. I left myself with like $600 buffer, and I was like, I'm gonna try for a big day. I smoked, lost 500. I was like, yeah, I gotta reset.
That's usually how it goes, man. Like if you
it's an expectancy game, bro. It's literally what it is. It's doing it right, man.
Yeah. But someone will ask me like, how do you feel? I don't feel any sort of way. Like I know the game that I play. You know, I know the like, especially with the way that I approach things. I know the risk of it. I know, you know, sometimes I will. It won't take me 1 month to request the payout, but my let's say expense versus my payouts, you know, my payouts are gonna drastically outweigh
Yeah, it's money. It's
fees.
money out versus money in. That's the only way I see it when you're playing prop. And I have no problem. People who like, they tend to like dog on people who gamify prop, but I'm just like, there's structurally advantages to doing it. Now I don't actually do that as much as I could. Like, I also just believe to an extent that it's hard to separate trading behaviors. Like, it's hard to trade one way times and
I
other
agree
way
though.
times.
I agree.
I have a bad mentality if I start to like switch up my trading behaviors. That's just a personal trigger of mine. That's why
I'm gonna try a long here at 50. If we push back down now, I need us to retrace back down right now, actually. And then I'll add actually to my position. So I'm gonna be in here, guys.
I'm full screening this shit. Cinema.
If I'm in,
I'm gonna type in chat. I was here. I was here for the Asia streaks.
let's see. Come on, guys. Let's get that dub. Let's make it 20. What is it? 23-6. We're gonna make it 23-6 today. You gotta believe me. I am not losing this trade. If I lose it, then blame it on August PA as usual.
Honestly, just blame it on me, bro. It's fine. That goddamn Appease guy, he must have screenshotted it during the Asia stream.
I'll blame it on market makers. They're
You heard the gossip.
watching the stream.
Literally watching.
I'll blame it on the new producer. Yep.
There we go.
Someone said, "Imagine if Tony was the reason why you won all your trades." I'm like, bro, the old producer. Yeah, Tony's still watching, guys. I hope he's not taking the same trades as me, because I would feel bad if I lose though.
I got an alert going off. Oh, gold hit our key level. Sorry about that, bro.
What kind of Christmas thing is that?
I have alerts set at the key level. So I'm looking at silver and gold now, guys.
Yeah, I'm in two here.
I'll look at this 4-hour gap now, because you can see that it was gold British pound just hit that key level. So I'm gonna look to frame, eventually, but not yet. I'll need a swing formation, so this will still take at least. It's interesting nonetheless. Start looking at the chart again. That was so obnoxious, bro. Sorry about that.
You're good, bro. Let me see here, that swing.
And the chat's like, what the hell was that? Those are my alerts, bro. That's literally what I hear in the middle of the night, and it wakes me up, and I'm like, all right, time to go to the chart. Time to clock in. It helps to set alerts, guys, because then you don't have to stare at the charts 24/7.
Let's see if we can see the bounce right now. We open on that 15 with no top wick. I would want us to hold that order block, push right back through. Once we form that internal swing and we push above, I would say like the 50s, my stop loss is going to be at 22. So the risk will drastically change as soon as we get the pop, which is usually how I always scalp. So we'll see. It's trade on the eval, hoping to make that 23-6. So let's see if we can get that, chat. Come on, chat, send us some good vibes here. We would need us to actually like push right now on this 1 minute bar. It would be very good, like having a pretty big down wick on that 5. That's what I want. Once we start trading back above 50, I will be my risk will be below 23. Okay. We're getting some heat. Experiencing some heat right now on that pullback here. New 5 opens. Let's see if we can fail your swing that low. That would be good. Get a good push here. Come on. I need to push above 50. Once we get the push above 50, my stop loss is going to be at 21. And that would be my protected low. Okay. I'm looking to see if we can get the pop so I can de-risk. That's really what I'm looking for. I just don't want to take that full size loss. Could happen though. It's pretty rare, but it could happen. Looking for that flip right now. We need to get past that 2-minute gap, which is going to be hard, but it's going to be hard. The only thing that could end up being a break-even trade for me if like we don't end up pushing at all for the next, I would say 8 minutes, 8-9 minutes. Brett, my brother. Okay, now Brett, my brother's here in the chat. And we gotta win this fucking trade.
Bro, the pressure is on.
He's gonna text me, "You're fired." You're fired. Yeah. Jobs on the line.
New producer as well.
Yeah.
This collateral. It's my first week too. This collateral now.
Come on. We gotta send it to the moon for Brett, my brother. Jobs on the line. Brett said it. All right, guys, we gotta get to 50. As soon as it gets to 50, the risk gets down towards 321. Let's see if we can turn that trade into a scalp too. I'm not even looking to get back into 88. Like, this is a pretty big play. Man, come on, chat. Send us the good vibes.
Hey, it's looking good, bro. It's looking better.
Yes,
Sure.
yes. Come on. Inverse that 2-minute gap, and we're gonna be ripping. Yep. Come on, chat. I do not want to see us flip. If we flip on the 5, if we trade back towards 26, it's probably going to be a trade that we're going to hold for pretty long. So this is the last 1-minute candle for that 5 to close. We need it to be strong. Come on. Do not pull back on us. Sorry? Long? Oh, okay, you're good. Oh shit, it's 8:24. Guys, almost the end. Shit.
Yeah, we'll send it until the trade's done.
Let's see what we get here. Not the reaction I wanted to see, guys. Oh, holy shit. Looks like we might lose my job today. Damn, okay. I'm gonna open high. This might end up being an inside bar candle, but this would be very unfortunate. Let's read the chat here. Nailed IB mid. Good thing I hit my TP. Looks like it's about to explode lower. All right, brother. I told you to send good vibes, and you're saying this? Come on, bro. It's about to rip. Exactly, David. Tell him. Tell him, my brother. This is the last, I would say the last time I would request a push. After that, the likelihood of us being in an inside bar candle is crazy. As soon as we pump back up towards, I would say even this internal high here, it's gonna be hard. Let's see. That 30 is gonna close in 3 minutes, and that 30 is also something I use to frame the next one. $15 has no top wick. I'm looking for the flip here. I'm looking to see if we can trade back up towards 360, but it looks like this candle will be an inside bar, meaning that it will not trade back towards the opening price. It has 3 minutes to do so. And looks like it's going to close bearish as an inside bar, just capitulating on the previous one. So the move's going to happen now.
Yeah, this 30 closes.
Yeah, this 30 is gonna tell us a story. So make sure to like the stream at 450. We're doing another 50K account, 50K select. So make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel also. Currently, we're at two accounts that we're gonna be giving away. So just waiting to see the pop, or if I need to get off that trade earlier. Actually, at this point right now, this is not looking good for us, guys. That 30 just fully flipped on us.
I don't know what to do, bro. I'm gonna get short right now and post a screenshot. Fuck is
that? At least one of us won.
No, the minute I posted all the way back.
No, okay, you screenshot the shorts and then it will go to the opposite. The screenshot curse.
Yeah, reverse short and screenshot it, and it will also be saved.
Someone said, I hope Amas is not in trouble with this losing trade, bro. I think I'm good, bro. I think I'm good.
He's 26-6 now. They needed to humble him a bit. Asia, the market makers, you heard them in the background earlier. That should have been your first red flag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Damn, pretty choppy here. Still really like the longs in general, like but in terms of the timing right now, I'm pretty much that is pretty much off timing, especially for the first reason why I took it, which was predicting the flip here, which did not end up happening. We'll see here. Could end up popping after that 30-minute closes. I'll give it 5 more minutes, and then yeah. Well, we can run the giveaways right now. Yeah, let's run the giveaways right now. So the first word, what can I do for the first word? Give us some inspiration for the first word, guys. That's not bad. Okay.
That one's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that word is not bad.
That's like every stream with me. Like right downtown.
That is not bad. Oh shit, okay, yeah, no, that other word is like so much better. Yeah, shit, okay. Okay, first word, guys, is police. Okay, first word is police because we heard the police in Ephesia's background. 30-minute closed, open low, no bottom wick. We're in some heavy drawdown currently. Looking to see the pop. The second word will be even better, Tris. We can select the winner right now. Congrats. Knowledge is gift of God. Damn, what a W name. Congrats, brother. You won a 50K select account from Tradeify. Make sure to have your email in your YouTube description and also to type in the chat right now so we know you're here. Now, second, that word is better. That word is like, you needed to be here. I think Ephes, you're not even going to get that word, actually. Because I think it was before you joined. Second word, capsules.
I wasn't here. Nope.
Capsule. I was talking, someone asked me the question about my coffee, like, what do I drink? I was like, I drink Nespresso.
Espresso capsule.
Yeah, I was like, how do you call those little things?
Pods.
Yeah, pods. And then, yeah, so I was like, yo, I just gambled with a French word, praying that it was going to make it, but they saw it. So congrats, John Griffin, the Saps. John Griffin Saps, congrats, brother. You won a 50K select. Make sure to have your email in your YouTube description and also to type in the chat right now. It looks like we're seeing the pumpy right now. I'm going to put my stop loss back towards this most recent low. Let's see if we can turn that into a scalp, guys. Putting in some overtime right here. Don't care. All right, last. Yeah, producer said I need my job. You're trust, I got you. Let's see if the market makers are listening to us. But last word. That's gonna be the last word right here. Let me know when it's ready. So the next word is market makers. Okay, make sure to reach 450. I don't even know if we reached 450. I just assumed. Wow, yeah, we did it. Yeah, so market makers, because they're probably watching the stream. That's the reason why I'm currently in drawdowns. The winner is gonna be selected right now. So congrats, AP 1989. Did you not win an account like 2 weeks ago or like a week ago? I think you won. Yeah, I think you won this week. I remember your name, AP.
W variance right there. Let's go.
Yeah, AP 1989. That's exactly the watch I'm trying to buy. All right, guys. Let's see if it can push above that opening price. That 39. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna give it that next 5. If not, I'm just gonna stay within the setup and let's see. Let's keep track of it for the next week. Okay. So 1 more minute. Let's see. Yeah, every time I'm in a trade, there's definitely more people in the
pick up. Yeah,
half of them are praying for my downfall, half of them are full porting. So
there's just no in between, is there?
Come on, man, just push.
I think YM should take out 8 p.m. side, so Nasdaq can also move with it.
Come on, man. 15-minute low sweep, open low of that 30. Looks good, man. Doesn't look bad. That hourly also is not looking bad. This could definitely be the protected low of the new hourly, especially formed at 8:31 p.m. If that candle is gonna close bullish, this is gonna be the protected low. I don't consider that we have enough time to re-sweep and then push back up. That would be a very late distribution, just timing wise. So if it goes back down again, I assume this candle will close bearish, which is overall like a pretty good trade still to be taken. But yeah, it's 8:35. All right, guys, we're gonna let this trade cook. In the meantime, yeah, we set and forget. We do what we call one and done, set and forget, right? So let's see if we can push above. I would say like my TP1 will definitely be 65 for 1-to-1. Exactly 66, I would say. And we're seeing the push now. Come on, man.
Good, man.
Let me see the push before we do the outro. Let me just be in positive. Like right now, it looks like I was drowning the whole freaking session.
Yeah, bro. I got nowhere to be, man. Fine. Yeah, I have no life. I'll be making like Figma slides after this. You're chilling, bro.
No. This it feels like this trade is gonna take forever. It looks like 5-minute high got swept, pull back within the range immediately. That seems hard. I'm also starving. I am. They know. But yeah, we're gonna let this trade cook. Hopefully we see the take profit being smashed right here. We are I don't necessarily expect us to distribute right now like very aggressively. It could take up another 20 minutes easily. It is Asia session. It takes a little bit more time before price truly sees the distribution. So we'll let those limits. This is my take profit 1. This is going to be my take profit 2, and probably going to adapt it depending on the closure of that hourly and how late we are. So it's already time for us to say goodbye. We appreciate you guys so much for being the best chat on Tradeify TV and giving us the opportunity to do such an incredible job. Appreciate you, Afeez, for being there. Appreciate you, Brent, also the production. So guys, again, thank you. It is the last day of Asia session this week because on Thursday it's the last day. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. for the trading floor with Joey. Thank you guys so much, and peace out.
Peace. Have a good one, guys.